Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume show. And for the Grue Rume today, we got a whole bunch of guests, and it's from this new horror movie that's out now. Yeah, it's out now. It's called Reed's Point, and it's about the legend of the Jersey Devil of Pine Barrens. And I'm going to be talking to Anthony Anthony Jensen, Madison Ekstrand, and the director of the film, Dale Fabbriger. If I said your names wrong, I apologize, but I will have you talk when you get in here, say your name. So I'm really looking forward to finding out a lot about this movie. I live in Philly. I'm not far from Jersey. I'm not far from where the Pine Barrens is. So I heard all the stories about the myth of the Jersey Devil. I've never seen him yet, but who knows? I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Room. And my interview with the actors and director of Reed's Point is coming up shortly. Okay, welcome to Grue, and thank you everyone for coming on the show and talking about Reed's Point.
Of course. It's Dale's pleasure.
No, it's good to see everyone, Anthony and Madison again and all that. This is cool. Thanks for bringing us together.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. So like the first question I want to ask is going out to Dale. You direct Reed's Point. So how did you wind up coming on board for the film?
It was actually our executive producer's idea, and she had this crazy idea to create this story, and she always had that in her head. She's from Jersey.
Okay.
And she always wanted to tell that story, and then we had this project come along for Sasha Ann, and she just thought that it would be a good chance to create this story with her in it. It was going to be originally like a short film.
Oh, wow.
It evolved and it grew into becoming a feature idea, and we just leaned into it and did it, and that's kind of how it happened. It's Suzanne De Laurentiis's brainchild.
Wow. Okay. And Madison and Anthony, like how did you both come on board for the film? How did you wind up getting cast for it?
Madison, go for it.
Oh, well, I've known Dale and Suzanne like from past projects, so they kind of asked me and said, "Hey, you want to be a part of this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." My parents are from New Jersey anyways, so I really thought it'd be a cool project to actually do a New Jersey Devil project.
Nice.
And I had done Derailed with Dale. When was that, Dale? 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And my manager happens to be good friends with Suzanne, and they work together a lot. So I went in and read, and Dale went, "Sure, looks great, man."
Well, when we worked together on that previous project, he played one of the smaller supporting characters, and it was actually developed just enough to make them interesting.
Okay.
But when we ended up making the film, things changed, and we ended up cutting Anthony's role to next to nothing. I remember being pained by it, and I said, man, Suzanne and our producing team, as well as everyone behind the team, we really loved his working with him and a lot of others on that show.
Yeah.
And I just, one of these days, man, I'm going to work with you, because I really wanted to do something with Anthony. And when this came along, we just felt like he was the right guy, and I didn't realize how good a role it was going to be for him. And I remember talking to you, Anthony. Remember, I said, "Hey, would you like to do the other role?" And you're like, "Heck no."
No,
I think
I want to Hank, man.
Yeah, dude, you crushed
Hank
it. You crushed that role, and it was so great to have you in it. He does a really fine job. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't seen the film, you got to see, if anything, for the monsters and Anthony's work in it. And it's really, there's some really nice work with a lot of people in it. It's a nice ensemble cast. It's a lot of fun.
It really is.
Awesome. And like, of course, the film is about the big famous legend over here in Jersey. Like I live in Philly, so Jersey isn't too far from me. And this this is a tale that's been told around this area for so long. The famous Jersey Devil of Pine Barrens. So can you tell us a little bit about the film?
Anyone want to say about it? Hank, you have
No,
a whole
go.
monologue about it.
I can tell you, I had no idea that this legend existed, and in fact, even when we were doing the movie, I thought this was all made up in a script. As I'm doing press, I'm finding out, oh, this was a real thing.
It is.
You know what I mean? So it was super, I think, fascinating. It was super interesting. You know, I grew up in the Pacific Northwest with Bigfoot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this is sort of the East Coast, I guess, version of Bigfoot to a
Yeah,
certain
exactly.
So I found that kind of interesting and eye-opening. I could totally relate to the legend in the woods type of thing, you know.
Nice. And Anthony and Madison, can you tell us like a little bit about your roles for the film, like characters you play?
Madison.
So my character actually changes throughout the film, which I really like because it really challenged me too, because I more bubbly in the beginning and then I completely change. I don't want to say too much because I've gotten yelled at for saying too much, but that's all I'll tell you. But I like how even though I'm in there not a lot, you can see how my character develops.
Okay.
And I play Hank. I play the guide that takes them into the woods. And at first you're kind of thinking, well, Hank must be a great guy. Look at this. I mean, there's always a little bit of an edge to Hank from the beginning, but as the film progresses on, you realize maybe Hank has other motives.
He might have just said too much.
You never know with him. What'd you say, Dale?
He might have already said too much.
Oh.
But yeah, it's good. I mean, he's a likable, questionable character throughout, but he has a lot of fun.
Questionable.
Yeah, and you can see how much the character himself just has a lot of fun, screwing with the kids, and that's what makes it fun because we are the audience too, trying to figure out who is this guy, what's going on here,
Yeah.
And Madison plays what's the name of your character's name? Kelsey, and she's the story is about these teenagers that go on a summer break, heading out to Atlantic City, and they get into this crash, and then in that crash, the survivors remember their one of their friends, vanishing, and she plays that character, and everyone else dies, and her cousin can swear she's still alive. So they go back to that crash site for closure or to investigate themselves, and then that's when they sort of discover more about the legend and what possibly lives in the woods there. So yeah. Those are kind of the characters, and Hank is one of the, what do you call it, like the Sherpas of the area who says, "Hey, I can show you around. Come with me." Like, do we trust this guy? Let's go for it.
I'm a likable guy. I had a mustache, a little bit of hair there, and very open, very and protective actually of the kids in the beginning. I shoo away a crazy person, and
oh wow,
I'm just trying to take care of them. I want them to show what's going on.
And, I mean, I know you can't give a lot away about the film, but is there a scene that you all like best from the movie?
Go ahead, guys. You.
Joe Estevez's scene.
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
I think Joe Estevez's scene when he's outside the diner. I love that scene.
Okay.
And I laugh every time I watch it.
Okay.
That is the scene where, it's he plays one of the characters that's touched by the Jersey Devil. We set that up, and Joe Estevez, the ever talented, one fun guy, he does a cameo in it, and he's had so much fun, and he really commits to that role in a fun way. Some would say it's a little over the top, but we did push him. We wanted him to be a little, nutty and crazy and over the top.
Yeah.
So, and Hank does sort of deals with him in his way. It's great. It's a little fun little part, and we just had so much fun shooting it. I remember that day was a tough day because we had camera breakdowns and
oh wow,
out of time, and we had to go inside a diner, and it was just like there's so much work. But working with Joe, we've worked with him again before in the past, and he does a tremendous job. And so just having him come aboard, because I didn't think he was going to come in and do it as a like a fun cameo, but he was all in. We just had such a great time working together, and so he says, I want to come and play. So he came in and did it.
He came and we played.
Yeah. I wish we could have done more, honestly, but it was a fun scene. Do you have a favorite, Anthony?
You know, most of the stuff that I did, my personal scenes, I guess, I had the most fun doing the stuff in the diner.
Okay.
That's my death scene. That.
Oh no.
That
The beginning,
yeah, right in the
the
beginning.
introduction, or
Yes.
the later scenes?
No,
Without saying-
oh, that's right. Well, you know, any of the diner stuff, I just had a blast. I had so
Yeah.
much fun in it.
Yeah.
But I like that sort of one-on-one cat and mouse
Yeah.
kind of scenario. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. That was really, those are great. And I love those scenes when I can settle down and really rest with the characters and see them and trying to see other characters figuring out, see their wheels going. I love that in a film because, a lot of these films ultimately get reduced to running around in the woods, which happens in our movie, right? So anytime we get an opportunity to kind of really see these characters and see as much as we can about them, try to figure them out, that to me, that's really very interesting. And that's what I enjoy too. Now, having said that, this is a monster creature movie.
Yeah.
And I love the genre. I mean, we do all kinds of different things, but one of my favorites is pretty much the one of the early scenes. It was just fun to shoot, and that's where we provide a bit of the gore, and there's some practical effects that happen, and that's a lot of fun. It just happens so quickly, but there's a lot of really cool scenes in the film that I personally love. I love the diner stuff between Anthony and our young actor Evan as well.
Yeah, that was
Another
those
fine
were really
actor.
fun moments. Really fun moments.
There was like and the stuff in the truck. I mean, there's a lot of fun little moments in the film, so it's a little hard, but I love special effects too, and giving the audience a bit of what they want. And we're there for a bit of the monster and a bit of the blood, and I wish there was more. And there was a really fun scene with Julia Kelly in the woods as well, where she discovers for herself what's there waiting. That was a lot of fun too, and working with her. It's the first time working with her too, and when you're trying to figure out how to work with actors, there's a challenge there of trying to communicate. And although that's a bit of a challenge, to me, it's fun. It keeps me alive, and that's what you do to work. It's like, you don't get lazy. You don't say, hey, do your own thing, Anthony, because Anthony will just run and do it. And I'm like, damn, that was great. Yeah. But there were times when we have to shape things and let's try it this way and discovering together who that character is, right? Anthony, we were like, can it be this way? Can it be funny? Is it too much? So that in the creation of the character in a film is always great opportunities in there.
Sweet. Now, by working in a diner, did you get to eat the food there too?
I don't think, did we have the food from there? I think there was. Some people ate the food from there. But
Yeah, we did. And, when we were very lucky to have, it was a diner that I grew up next to.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's not in Philly, but because most of the film was shot in Los Angeles, Glendale to be specific.
Oh, okay.
Very close to the valley where we all live. And that diner, I always wanted to film there. And I didn't think we would get it. But it was just around that COVID time, and they were super cool, and they're like, we could use a little love, and we'll be here, and yeah, it all worked out. And it was a diner I was going to shoot something else before, fell through. This time it happened, and we always like to buy food for the crew or whatnot from the establishment. They were super fantastic, and but yeah, there was a little food, and there was some pie and a little coffee, a little Twin Peaks homage in there,
Nice.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because I think I'm going to post it in my Instagram. We didn't have a lot of time, and I missed this pie shot of them eating. And so I went back and we tried to do it. Anyway, long story short, I ended up shooting that shot in my bathroom. So you'll see it. And it's,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and some people go, "That's my favorite shot, man," because they saw it on Instagram, and it has, it's taken out, and that's movie magic. It's just how
Wow.
important was. My editor said, "You don't need the pie shot, man." And I said, "I know, but it needs to. I don't want to. I need a transitional piece into the restaurant and the
Yeah.
diner." And when you see it, you don't think about it at all. It's beautiful. It's flawless, But
Yeah.
I shot it in my bed. I had to I built the table out of foam core, and I put the.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Wow. Okay.
I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah.
And shooting in the woods too, like especially if you're shooting the scenes at nighttime, like was it creepy, like shooting a movie about a Jersey Devil in like dark wooded areas?
But you think, Madison?
No, I don't think so, because honestly, you have so much crew around you.
That's true.
But if I was there by myself, maybe I'd probably shed a few tears and be scared. But when you're around crew and everything, I was fine.
I would say the house that we shot in was way creepier than the dark woods.
Oh, really?
That too, yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Wow.
creepy place. Interesting, super cool house.
Yeah, because it's great that you brought that up, because I was going to say that house is a haunted house. So that is
Oh, get out.
officially known to be haunted.
Wow.
Yeah, the woods behind the scenes, really, there was not a lot of woods. It was just very little. We shot at a park at night, and we only had like 2.5 hours to film there. It was insane, but it's very safe. And then but it gets dark, so we had a little swath of trees, and there wasn't this huge dark woods where we made it look like that. So I would have maybe 50 feet or 100 feet of this angle, and I would use it a lot. And then all the rest, these actors kept walking back and forth, and that was the trick. It was harder than I wanted it to be. I wish it would have just point the camera and film. But there's still lights that are involved, and you got to move that around, and but the woods weren't as scary as that house could have. It was, what you see in that house is the real house. We did not build a set, the dungeon, we art directed it a bit and put props in, but that place was really beautiful in its own way, though, but that was the location.
Okay. And what's funny, like I was telling you, is I live in Philly, so I'm not too far from the area. And I remember one night, like, young people doing crazy things. Like this was years ago. Me and a few friends, we went camping out in the Pine Barrens, in the woods of the Pine Barrens, and we're like, oh, we're gonna find this Jersey Devil, we're gonna find him. And we camped out there all night, and we heard a lot of noises, and we were getting creeped out a little bit. We didn't see like the actual Jersey Devil, but yeah, it's one of those like dumb things you do just to see if it's real or not.
Of course.
Gotta do it.
It's like fun, actually.
Our film too is it's a unique take on it. We knew that. I did a lot of research on the Jersey Devil in doing this, because like Anthony, I was aware of the Jersey Devil, Bigfoot, all of these creatures, but the Jersey Devil was one that I just wanted to know more about. And a lot of that research is in the film. A lot of the articles and things that I pulled up and saw, I made photos and scans and worked it into the film, because it's all out there. That's all real. There's a couple of pieces that we manufactured to tie in our story, but all of that is out there in the internet and have been published.
Oh yeah.
But our creature, if you saw the film, it's different than what people understand the Jersey Devil. So we had a different take on it, and that was always Suzanne's idea, because we knew right off the bat we couldn't produce what we thought or what is known traditionally as a Jersey Devil. So this was our Jersey Devil, and at least for our story. Because our film has a lot of different twists in it. So but yeah, so that was always a big contention with some of the audiences, that didn't look per se like the Jersey Devil that's in those pictures, right? But at the same time, people appreciated the fact that no one really has seen the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, exactly.
All these different, witnesses. And does it look more like a man? Does it look like a goat?
Right.
So we thought, let's not worry about it. Let's just tell our story. And again, there's a lot of twists in this, so it really worked for this, low budget, small little movie that we did, and it was pretty cool.
Okay. And what did you all like best about filming this?
You guys go.
I personally, I mean, I love acting and I love making movies, and I'm working with Dale, and honestly, there wasn't a dud on the set. Everybody was really talented. It also, just a sort of a behind the scenes thing. The crew was absolutely calm, positive, moved forward. Fatigue sets in on these things, and people get frustrated, and time, pressure start to set in, and it never really showed. I never took any of that away from any of the film. For me, it's a form of therapy. I get to not have to be me for a while, and I can go be somebody else, or I can misbehave under the guise of somebody else. So it's kind of therapeutic, because at the end of it, you feel, cleansed.
Yeah.
There's it's like a workout. Some people love going to the gym. I love getting in front of the camera.
There you go.
Yeah.
Love it, man. Love it. What about you, Madison?
I have to agree with Tony. It's like the set atmosphere for Reeds was really nice, and it wasn't stressful, really. I mean, all the cast and crew was amazing. And we all got along too, which was great, because you always worry if you guys will get along or not, but we all got along, and I just really like the set atmosphere because it makes everything go smoother.
Yeah, and as a filmmaker, there's nothing better than just making films.
Mhm.
I've worked on various projects with different budgetary constraints, and this one was a smaller one, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a small story, let's do it, and getting a chance to make movies and work with actors and crew members. Many times it's an opportunity to try new people behind this camera, and to see how far we can push it. Because Tony didn't, and you guys may not have noticed, but it was incredibly stressful because we only had, but you know what it's like. Tony's a producer as well.
You know what it's
We
like.
and we just had a few days to do what we needed to do. And, and Sasha, and this was her first film.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and that's how it all started. Was she was battling cancer, and it was a bit of like a Make-A-Wish project for her. It was her goal and dream to kind of do this, and that's how it started with Suzanne. And she brought it to me and said, "Hey, we got this person that wants to try this. What do you think? And can we develop it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." I wanted to be a part of that. So supporting her in her dream, and then really making a project where we can bring actors together and do what we do. It may not be millions of dollars, but I mean, it was a chance to tell a new story in our way, to play and do a little magic. And it's just one day we'll get an opportunity to do it in a larger scale, perhaps. And but yeah, just doing it, that's just like the best feeling. It's hard for me to figure out what was the best time, because it's really a blur. It all kind of when you think about that moment, oh, that was great, or that was great, but it's all the whole everything was it's just one of those things where you're like, oh, that was so great. It's like running a marathon. You're like, oh, that was hell going up that hill, and then I had that, but then at the end you're like, that was so good, we crossed the finish line together. And it's just a great feeling. And then now it's out, and that to see a movie that's out that people can watch and we can share and make fun of, or be scared together, or go, that was awesome, or I mean, to me, it's just great.
It's so funny because at the end of these shoots, you look back on like day one or day two, and it seems like weeks ago, and it was only about 10 days ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a journey. You go through such a process, and you start to bond so rapidly with the other talent and with the crew and everybody. And you're doing it pretty much every day. By the end of the shoot, it seems like it's a much longer shoot. It seems like you've gone because you've gone through such a journey, basically.
they're basically family by the end of the shoot. I mean, I could make fun of probably everyone on set jokingly, and they'd be like, "Yeah, whatever, Madison," you know. But to add on to Dale's, I think being in such a special movie to make someone's dream come true made the movie, I don't know, it made it feel like different in a way because you're helping someone's dream, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
But it made me feel like good to help someone and help someone who loves acting as much as all of us. So
Yeah, and it's a stepping stone for her, and you know that's where the only way you learn is by doing it, right?
Mhm.
And for her to just do it, to help her do something was really special, a blessing, if you will. Just a lot of people don't get that opportunity. So, and then for us to kind of pull our friends together and work together on a project, that's really special. But this is where she ended up deciding or discovering if this is something it's one thing to do it for fun,
Yeah.
but is this something that you are passionate about? Is this something
Yeah.
you can do? Is this something I like? You know, you realize, oh, that's too much hard work, or but there, I think it definitely ignited something in her, and she's like on fire right now. She's like,
That's really good.
and that's a
really
wonderful thing to be a part of. It's like, yeah, and Madison too. She's a developing actor, and it's great to see you guys just kind of keep going and growing with your experiences, right?
And what are some of your favorite horror films? Since we're on the subject of horror movies with the Jersey Devil, like, do you all have a horror movie that you like the best to watch?
Madison?
I like the Insidious movies.
Nice.
The whole series. I like those. And what movie did we watch last night? The Silence of the Lambs. And
Oh,
it's
yes, of
another one.
course. Of course, yes.
We watched that last night because at the film festival we were at, this guy, he owned the house. He was one of the vendors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said that, oh yeah, it's an Airbnb. You can rent it out to film it and everything.
What? Get out.
And I'm like, I don't remember watching this film. So I watched it last night and it's a good film.
Yeah, it's excellent, that film.
Won an Academy Award. Come on.
The book is fantastic. Book is equally as good as the film.
There's
It
a
really
book?
held up well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Dale, you wanna take it?
Yeah, I've got a lot, but I think for a horror movie, Rocco, right?
Yeah.
It's because I got the name is RC. It's like, what is RC? We should have started with that in the intros, right? Like Rocco. How do you say your name before I answer your question real quick?
That's exactly how you say it.
Okay, Rocco. Well, great to meet you, and thanks for having us here.
Same here.
But yeah, Rocco, it's like I think the one film that I've always loved. It's a little more modern, but it's an old one for my age. But it's The Thing. But it's John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes.
To this day, I mean, I remember seeing it when I was so young and I wasn't allowed to watch those movies, but it just was it's sci-fi, it was horror, the characters. I mean, it was just so good. And the practical effects, it just affected me in a way that I can't explain. It just always lived with me. It's like some people that saw Star Wars and it was like, it changed their lives. The Thing was like that a lot for me. And I knew that it was movies, I mean, the effects, the acting, it was just so spectacular, and it still holds up today. And that's when I really appreciated how much, practical effects and everything. We're in the digital age now. I mean, it's awesome, but that's why even our film, of course, we were budgetary limitations on our film, but I really pushed to do as much practical work as we could. It's just something that I love, but yeah, The Thing, man, that
Nice. I love that movie.
That's inspiration.
Nice.
And I'm not normally much of a horror film fan. It's like I've done probably a dozen of them in the last 2 years. It seems to be my staple.
Yeah, I know I was gonna say.
I've done a lot of them. But the first one that really struck out at me, and I don't know if it's so much a horror film as it is a slasher film, but when I saw Friday the 13th,
oh yeah,
I've never been so scared from a film in my life. And it was all just kind of whatever it was right up until the end. And everybody I was with, I was watching it on TV on like HBO or something in like
Mhm.
1979 or 1980. And everybody I was with, so I was 13, everybody I was with knew what was about to happen. I was sitting there all relaxed right at the end. Oh, horror. Scared
Yeah,
the
I mean,
crap out of me.
Jason's
that-
mom.
that one got me too, Anthony. I was in one of our family's homes, and then we were being bad, so we rented this video called, Friday the 13th, and we're like, I had no idea what was in store for me, and the tropes that have always been with me because of that film.
Yeah.
Have sex, die. That's just the way it goes.
It happened.
But
It happened in real life.
That's right. That's true. But it was just so fantastic, and to see Kevin Bacon. I mean, it's just I love that movie. And then Halloween, obviously,
of
these
course.
film, which has nothing to do with like Reed's Point, but those were seminal films for me. And then, of course, that's when the thing came in after that, which was sci-fi and of course Alien and all that.
Oh
But,
yeah.
but yeah, man. And so just coincidentally, last night I just visited the original, like one of the houses from Halloween. I was standing in front of it. And I
Nice.
had to look it up, and I'm like, yeah, this is the house.
Oh,
Pasadena,
nice.
on Mission Street. But yeah, that's a great, yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Friday.
And I love like the first Scream movie when Drew Barrymore is answering the phone. They're testing her knowledge about horror, and they ask her who the killer of Friday the 13th was, and she's like Jason, and they're like, no, it was Jason's mother.
Spoiler alert. No.
It's been 40 plus years, Dale. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
That's out of the bag at this point.
And where can fans find you all at, like with your pages, your Instagram, and all that stuff?
Oh, you can. I mean, I don't know. I never know who's going first. So
Ladies
Yeah.
first. Ladies first.
you can find me at Madison Eichstrand, basically on everything. So yeah.
And Dale?
Yeah, Dale Fabregar on Instagram. That's all I'm at. That's where you can find me.
Okay.
I don't know if our names get printed, because I can see my name right here in the
Mhm.
corner, but I don't know if they get printed in the video. I don't know. But yeah. Dale
And
Fabregar.
my Instagram, which is really the only thing I use, is Tony Jensen.
Okay.
Same here. Yeah. I'm rarely on Facebook.
I shut down my Facebook. Just
Oh wow.
Too much, huh?
toxic.
Too much to keep up with. Yeah.
I have Twitter, but I never use it. Lazy. I'm just really lazy when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
And the film is out now, right? So where can fans watch the film? Where's it streaming? And
I know it's on sale on Amazon and streaming platforms.
I think it's on Vudu too, or
okay.
It's on Vudu, and you can rent it on Amazon Prime as well. I know
Yeah.
that.
Oh, okay.
And then you can order DVDs. I mean, I know that I saw one on Best Buy, Walmart, and different-
Barnes and Noble too.
Barnes and Noble. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So that it's out there. But I think streaming might be easier, but yeah, but it's out there.
Oh, sweet. Everyone, if you're curious about seeing a movie about the legend of the Jersey Devil, definitely see this movie. Reed's Point. Well, thank you everyone for taking time out and being a guest on the show and talking about this film and the legend of the Jersey Devil.
Welcome.
you for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
And it was great to see you, Madison and Anthony again. And thank you,
You
Rocco, for
too.
bringing us all together.
Definitely.
We should do
Definitely.
this more often.
Yes, right?
Thank you, Dale.
And Anthony, I'm gonna message you because I want to bring you back on and talk about the wrestling thing.
That was fun. Okay, we got it.
Okay.
Do it. Let's do it, man.
All
Hey,
right.
you know, derailed. We filmed in Philly too. I don't
Oh,
know if you
really?
know. Yeah, it's
Oh
we
yeah.
shoot most of everything that we did in Los Angeles as much as we can. But on that show, we brought a train out we built a train for the crash that happened
Mhm.
and filmed it there. And there was no way we could get that footage. So if you look at that footage, of the area and the woods, and it looks so different than what you see on Reed's Point. It's totally different. We have some other B-roll stuff from Philly that we worked into the film.
Oh
Most
wow.
of it was done here in Los Angeles, but it for Reed's Point. But in Derailed, we went out there and shot it. It was a unique situation where that decision was made, but it's just gorgeous for that reason.
Nice.
So anyway,
Well,
that was
well,
another plug for an old.
yeah, but like, you know, Philly gets a lot of films now. Like it never used to be a hot spot for film and television, but it's getting really hot now. And M and Night Shyamalan always shoot stuff here. So
yeah, it's beautiful, really beautiful. I wish I could be there and get out of Los Angeles more. You know, but yeah, we'll do it. Do it again.
exactly.
I just spent 2 months in Houston. I'm happy to be home now.
Yeah.
Nothing against Houston.
Well, once again, thank you all for taking time out and coming on the show, and it was really nice talking to everybody.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for
Bob.
having
Thank you.
Thanks. Well, have a good night and happy holiday Easter.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
You too.
You too. Enjoy the rest of the movie.
Thank you. Bye.